of minerals and vitamins, irons in the niacin. Fuck who that I offend. Rappers sit back, I'm about to begin. Bout foul talk, you squall. Never even walked the walk, more or less destined to get tested. Never been arrested. My album will manifest many things that I saw, did or heard about, or told firsthand. Never word of mouth. What's in the future for the fusion and the change? Rappers are in danger. Who will use wits to be a remainder? When the missile is aimed to blow you out of the frame, some will keep their limbs in, some will be maimed. The same suckers with the gab about killer instincts return bitchin', knowing damn well they lack in this division. The connoisseur, cracking your head with a 4x4. Realize, sucker, I be the coming like Noah. Always simmer you down, perpetrating facade what you consider an image. To me, this is just a scrimmage. I feel I'm stoned, not cause of bopper wear my cap cock. The more emotion I put into it, the harder I rock. Those who pose lyrical but really ain't true, I feel.
Times limited, hard rock.
Tongues about what you did, but you never done it. Admit it, you bit it, cause the next man came platinum behind it. I find it ironic, so I researched and analyzed. Most write about stuff they fantasize. I'm fed up with the bull on this focus of weed and clips and Glocks getting caught and wax not being flipped. It's the same old, just straining from the anal. The contact is not complex to vex. So why you pushing it? Why you lying for? I know where you live, I know your folks. You was a sucker as a kid. Your persona's drama that you acquired in high school and acting class. Your whole aura is plexiglass. What's her face told me you shot this kid last week in the park? That's a lie. You was in church with your mom. See, I know. Yo, slow your roll, get it good to go. Guys be locking in this thing called rapping just for dough. Of course we gotta pay rent, so money connects. But I'd rather be broke and have a whole lot of respect. It's the principle of it. I get a rush when I bust some dope lines or roll that maybe somebody will quote. That's what I consider real in this field of music. Instead of putting brain cells to work, they abuse it. Non-conceptual, non-exceptional. Everybody's either crime related or sexual. I'm here to make a difference. Besides all the riffing to traps, I'm not sticking. Rappers stop flipping for those who pose lyrical but really ain't true, I feel.
Times limited, hard rock too. Hard rocks too.
Yo, what up? What up? It's your boy D HOLLA, my man.
Mac J in this motherfucker, sitting on the back of the motherfucking truck and on the banner right there. My belly is looking a little bigger right there, but if you punch me in that motherfucker, your hand gonna sink in that motherfucker, and immediately after that, you're gonna catch the right hand or the left hand. So, what's popping with it though, D?
Hey, man. Everything's good. How was your day, man?
Well, shit, like we were talking behind the scenes, man, for like the last month, man, every Wednesday. So that's about 4 Wednesdays, what they say, like a month of Sundays or whatever. Motherfuckers call out, man. You know what I'm saying? Leave us short-handed. We got to be at work so early that it's nobody to tell when you feeling sick a couple hours before you got to go to work. So it's like people, you presume that they waking up in the morning and they trying to get it going, but they can't get it going, and then they got to tell me. So I wake up and text message like, I'm not going to be there, man. Like, sorry, bro, I wish I could help you out. Well, fuck. So we had one motherfucker doing that shit, so we said, I'm going to just take him off of them days and give it to somebody else, and then this motherfucker called us. So it's like, what the fuck, man? So I already know by the end of the day, my legs going to be feeling like Jello jigglers. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm walking around doing this, look like I'm doing the James Brown, my legs so fucking tired. But it is what it is. We got to do what we got to do to get the money, so I can't complain.
I feel you, man. I had to do some running around. Went to my daughter's school PTA meeting, you know. It's about that time, but everything's cool so far. So
PTA
had somewhat of a smooth day, yeah, man.
You know,
hearing things
when we was young. And speaking of, while we talking young, because we talking adolescence tonight, just in case motherfuckers didn't know. Your youth, your young times. D just went to a PTA meeting. They used to call them shits when we was in school, the parent-teacher conference.
That's what it's called,
You know
parent-teacher conference.
Motherfucker used to be panicking on parent-teacher conference. Like, if you was one of them kids that, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I hope Miss Johnson don't be in here on that dry snitch and shit.
Oh, man.
Because mama used to be like, shit better be right when I get up there, motherfucker.
So, you know what that means. Let's talk that shit, man.
Let's talk that shit, man. And tonight is about adolescence, man. From when we was young to our kids and the generation that they in. Because if you ask me, D, a lot of people want to talk about the new generation, the young guys. And I'm even guilty of this too. I call them swaggets. I call them all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't agree with a lot of their shit. But I feel like our generation failed our kids, meaning we entitled our kids so much to where we tried to give them everything that we never had. And we tried to make them feel ways that we never felt. And at the same time, we trumped the true values of a lot of shit because it wasn't that our parents couldn't buy us certain shit or take us to certain places. There was no need for it. So why do it? Just because you want to do it, or do it because you really need to do it? So we fucked it up. We bought our kids don't even know what some fucking, we used to call them buddies. I don't know what they call them up there in the NY, some skippies or whatever the fuck people call them. Like,
we call them skips. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You come to school with some fucking buddies. That don't mean your folks couldn't buy you no Jordans, but they didn't see the value in spending $80 on some pair of shoes when you growing 2 sizes every fucking month. You know what I'm saying?
But they couldn't afford it. That's why.
Man, I think some parents could afford it, but why? Why though? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna bust up out these motherfuckers, I'm not finna spend $80 on them bitches when you want another pair in 2 weeks, man. Get out of here with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can spend this money on something different, as opposed to same way with toys and shit. You know how to take care of your shit because you might not just get another one if you break it. If you break that motherfucker, it's OV, as we call it down south. You know what I'm saying? It's over with. It's out there, finito. So what we did when we became parents, and we was making way more money on the average than what our parents was probably making 20 years before we was just coming out. We wanted to give our kids everything that we never had. So they don't even know the value of a lot of shit. So it's like, can I really be mad at him if he don't know, if I didn't teach him?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, back then, I remember my mom bought me, I think the cheapest things my mother ever bought me, she bought me a pair of Franklins when I was in 8th grade. And I had never seen these sneakers before. So I'm asking my son, where'd you get these from? Well, these are your gym sneakers. I'm like, yo, she's like, don't they look like Adidas? I said, no, they don't. They got me a pair of Olympias. I'm like, I said, you couldn't give me a pair of Reeboks? Like, damn, man. I got one Franklin's in the damn gym getting clown. Like, what? He's like, what are those Franklins? What the fuck are Franklins? I'm like, I don't know, man. These are my gym sneakers. I changed to my busted up Nikes my mom's bought me. She got paid. We went to the store in New York. It's called VIM. So sneakers was on sale, $59.99. Came to $64.94.
Right. Man, so you was gonna wear them old Nikes instead of busting them brand new.
Yo, I saw, you know what, the Franklins were new. So I'm like, well, these are my gym sneakers. She was like, just wear them to gym. The sneakers you wear to school, you just put them in your locker.
Franklins as we speak.
Yeah. Franklins. She tried to make it seem like it was cool. Like, yo, you can wear these. These are nice. I'm like, oh, hell no. She trying to play me.
Man.
She bought me a pair of, I think it was called Olympias. They were like they looked like Adidas, but instead of having 3 stripes, they had 4 stripes. Oh man, niggas on my block had jokes for days. Like, yo, you fake ass Adidas, look at these niggas. Nigga got 4 lines, son. Look. Like, yo, come on, man.
Your Adidas had 7 stripes.
Mine's had 4. I said, what the fuck is that? I'm telling her, like, Mom, they making fun of me. She was like, so I can't afford no shell toe Adidas. I'm like, this is so bull. So I had to rock it when I was a kid. And now
Oh
when you
snap,
get
man!
older, you get a little
I see them
job.
Franklins. I see him. Yeah, I would have been pissed too.
Yeah, when I
But
got a little job, I was getting the sneakers I wanted.
mm. But what about the cats that used to come up when we was young, man? That was getting all that shit, and you knew they folks didn't have no money. Nah,
Uh-huh.
everybody wasn't a dope dealer. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of motherfuckers that talk that shit now, and everybody act like what they used to do back in the day. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
from back in the day, and I'm here to tell you that half these motherfuckers that talk this big, they had this and they had that. These niggas didn't have shit. A lot of motherfuckers, especially from the inner cities, we was broke as a motherfucker, going to free lunch programs, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Government cheese, remember all that shit? The Real WIC program. When they in some areas they bring this shit to your crib. You didn't even have to go
Nah, we had to
to the
stand online
stop.
for that shit.
Man, I lived in the area where they was bringing the motherfucking shit to your crib, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like the post office, man. They got vans and shit riding around. Boom, they dropping your shit off. The motherfuckers used to steal that type of shit. Same way with the paper food stamps. You know what I'm saying? Like that was
Oh,
getting
come
big
on, you
in
took
the
it
hood.
way back.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit, if you get that $65 book, you know what I'm saying? Shit, that's jackpot. You know what I'm saying? When we was youngin'. So
But
like
you
shit.
remember you remember when you gave the book to the cashier and they look at it and they ask you, well, how much is in there? It's like it says 65. They going through ripping this shit out, and if you
Yeah.
came up short, it's like, well, you owe me more, so and they put you on blast. We ain't got enough food stamps. Like, yo, man, that shit
Man.
bring the volume down to your voice, girl. Try to put me out there like that.
See, you like my brother. See, he used to mama send us to the store with the food stamps and shit. He used to be embarrassed to spend them. Not me.
Oh man.
I didn't give a fuck because I knew you can get change back. So when we was young, you know, a motherfucker throw you that dollar, you just gonna buy like a little Debbie for 25 cents, get that 75 cent back. You know what I'm saying? When the quick come
Uh-huh.
up to go to the little arcade and play you a couple games or whatever. But I never was ashamed of that shit. This shit. I always looked at that shit as fucking money. Even now, it's still the
Free
same
money.
shit except for free money. You know what I'm
Free
saying?
money.
Exactly. So you look, but it's coming from somewhere. And
Uh-huh.
we know that now, especially if you older now and they tell you make too much to get food stamps, but you hungry as a motherfucker. Like how the fuck do I make too much? If I'm telling you I can't afford to buy food, but when it was the paper food stamp days, it was a whole lot of different transactions, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit was like money, man. And you had stores that'll sell anything for food stamps. You know what I'm saying? Because that was like,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 50 cents on the dollar for the motherfuckers back then. You know what I'm saying? Like straight cut them in half,
Mm-hmm.
and you getting all food. But some of them days when we was adolescents,
Yeah,
how you
those were
feel
the
about
days.
what's the contrast to the kids growing up now to how we was? Like, what's some
Well,
benefits that we got?
I'm gonna tell you when we was talking about the biggest thing, the difference between this
Mm-hmm.
generation, our generation, there's no Big Mama.
Mm.
Big Mama was that woman that was about 300 pounds, black woman that didn't play nothing. She didn't, she didn't take no shit from nobody. And she damn sure was feared and respected by everyone, especially the kids. Big
Right.
Mama talking, and you
Mm-hmm.
ask your mama something, your mama talking to Big Mama, you like, Mama. Your Big Mama slap you in the face. Boy, you hear
Yeah,
grown folks talking, you say, excuse me.
you
You
got
like,
that
you wipe
right.
the tears. Excuse me. Mama, can I have some juice? And yet before your mother say, your big mama say, no, boy, go to your damn room, shut the hell up. Just
Hell
like that.
yeah.
Nowadays, I want some juice. I don't give a fuck what you say. This generation, they don't respect their parents. The parents
No,
don't put
man.
that fear in them for them to be respected. They just, now the parents are scared of the kids. Like, when did this happen? Like, when me and you was coming up, we were scared of our moms embarrassing us out in public, whooping our ass out in public, or
Right.
disciplining was different. Where when we was coming up, there was an extension cord, a belt. Your mother hit you with your hand, hit you
Right.
with a brush to the
What?
knuckles, or
Yeah, whatever's
broomstick, mop.
available. In some
Yeah,
houses, whatever's available. You know what I'm saying? Like, mama could be talking on the phone and crack your ass upside the head with it because you you disrupting her conversation. You know what I'm
And she
saying?
go back to her conversation afterwards.
Yeah,
She like, hold on,
yeah,
bow.
hold on. What happened? Oh, I just had to bust this nigga in his head. You won't shut the fuck. Go sit the fuck down. You know, our parents live by words like that. Sit your goddamn ass down. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't take a lot. Sometimes the words let you know what was coming after that. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, the kids, there's no consequences or repercussions. But at the same time, they took a lot of the rights out of the parents to discipline their kids. Because we never thought about calling a child abuse hotline. What the fuck was who we gonna call? Like, I remember getting my ass whooped for shit that I did, and it was all work deserving for what I got the ass whooping for. And I want to call somebody to come fuck my mama up, not take her to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, let her motherfucking ass know she can't be whooping me like that. I know I stole 3 cookies when she told me not to get none, but she didn't have to ram my motherfucking head into the wall like that because I said I want to live with my daddy or something. Like, there's all kinds of shit that go down when you were youngin', but I don't think my mother ever feared getting in trouble for disciplining us. Because we really didn't do a whole lot of bad shit, but half the shit that they don't know, man, nowadays your parents will get locked up for that shit. They tell you you can't your kids, but then when they go out here and do some shit, they'll lock you up for what your kids do.
Hell yeah. That's the law these days. I remember back then when mama beat your ass, you call your grandma, like, grandma, mama hit me for no reason. You know, grandma be like, hey, I'm going to talk to her, baby. Leave my baby alone. What's wrong with you? He's acting up. He is a boy. And that grandma will take up for you, right? I remember my aunt told me, she said, listen, you keep doing that, something gonna happen. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, do your grandmother live with you? She's like, no. He's like, keep fucking around. You gonna get in trouble. So I called my grandmother. I was like, Grandma, I want to come live with you. Mama beat me too much. She was like, I'm not hard-headed. She was like, all right, baby, let me talk to your mama. Mother got on the phone. She argued with my grandmother. Mother got off the phone. She said, remember, you live with me, not with your grandmother. Your ass is mine. Oh, after a while, my grandmother said, don't call me.
Hell yeah. See,
you acted up, deal with that.
Don't put me in this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no, man.
And then you learn when you got older, I ain't finna call grandma. I hope mama don't call grandma because
hell yeah.
Yelled at by her motherfucking ass too. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn, man.
Hold on. Remember like we was talking about earlier, the PTA meeting, the parent-teacher conference. Let's say you had I was one of the kids that got in trouble. I had a mouth on me. But my schoolwork was on point. Mom's always working nights, so when she's home, she'll sleep, watch her stories. My mom ain't coming. I ain't worried about nothing. My mother happened to get the letter, I bring home a letter, and I forgot to hide it. She came to the school. Hey, nice to see you. Teacher had a big smile on her face. Come sit down. I need to talk to you. And it seemed like all the teachers that was there needed to see my mother one by one. Good student, good kid, but his attitude, once he just said, I got a dirty mouth. I told some girl her crotch stink. I was like, oh, hell. Oh, man, you talk about the worst beating. The worst beating that my mama gave me for acting out was I was in the shower. And we had like a just regular stand-up shower. It wasn't no tub when I was a kid. I'm in the shower, washed my face and everything. And I just feel this, like something hit my skin. I was like, And I wiped my face as my mom with the belt did not tell you. You with your mouth, your attitude. What? You talk about whelps on the body, and I'm crying. And you hit that, you doing like that. You want to tell you, shut up. Do you want another one? Like, no. Told me to shut up. I went to bed. I cried myself to sleep. After that, it was no more of that shit.
Right. You wanted to run away and all that shit.
What? I started to call my grandmother, but I heard my mom talking to my grandmother, my aunts and uncles. You know what this fucking boy did? So
man, I love my grandmother, man. I love my mama. They sweet women. You know what I'm saying? But when they used to piss me off, I cuss their ass out of my goddamn head though. You know what I'm saying? They was all kind of stupid motherfuckers and dumb bitch and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're mad as a kid, you don't know why you think the way you think sometimes, but it's all for them to show you what's really going on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like when we was in elementary school, it's just like coming up. So by the time we got to middle school, junior high, now it's a whole different game. I'm knowing what they tolerate, and then I'm trying to play within the parameters of that shit. Like, so like getting into gang shit, my grandparents would have never knew none of this shit. But it was like they don't understand being out in these streets outside of the house. Like if I'm on the block, it's all good. You felt protected because you had the lady up the street, you had the lady across the street. They've been living over there 20, 30 years like your people been here. They've been up the block for this long. They over here. But when you go outside of your area, your comfort zone, when we was kids, it felt like we always had to prove something to make sure that motherfuckers wasn't fucking with us. You see what I'm saying? So like if I'm coming through your neighborhood, we not just coming through your neighborhood to say, fuck your neighborhood, we coming through it. We coming through this because this the way we gotta go. But at the same time, y'all ain't finna push us around. But when I get back to the crib, it's a whole different playing field. And I think the kids nowadays, they don't even got that. Like the way they at home is the way they in the streets. You see what I'm saying? So you know what you're dealing with when they first going out there. And I don't know how we combat that a lot of times with parents being more younger and younger on the average as well.
You got grandparents is in their 30s, and the child's in the 16-year-old girl having a daughter, the mother's 33. She a grandparent now, you know?
Yep. You barely know how to be a parent, and now you forced to be a grandparent. So you could look at it in all the negative ways, but in the positive ways is fuck my bloodline continuing on. But how do we combat and set our people up better to raise our children and these adolescents, especially now? Like when we was in school, this is a hot topic too. When we was in school, I never worried about somebody coming into school with AKs and all this shit and black. We had to worry about shit when we got out of school, but in school, the worst that could happen was you get jumped. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a motherfucker crazy enough to bring a knife in that motherfucker for real. Now it was people in the school with pistols because they gotta walk home at night. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta go through neighborhoods that don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Period. It's like that in Chicago. Like it's still like that. It's even worse now. But even when we was young, you had to worry about certain shit. But as far as school was the safe haven. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody fucked with the school. Like even the older guys that was outside of school, like the school grounds, there's kids up there. And I don't think it's like that no more, man. We'll probably never see, our kids will probably never get to see that aspect of life as far as going to school without that constant threat, because I don't have children now, but if I had children, I'd be trying to prep them for if some shit happened at their school. Like, what would you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to run through these scenarios with your children. You got to tell them, you got to prepare it's fucked up that we got to prepare them for this type of shit, but this the world we living in. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way. Remember when we was kids, we had in the Midwest, we had the tornado drills and shit. You know what I'm saying? Even when
I remember that.
They make y'all line up, they ring the bell and shit. What would y'all do? You know, you got to prep your kids. So even when I was young, I felt like after we did a tornado drill, I know what to do in a tornado. I don't know how effective going out in the hallway and getting on the ground and crouching up by the lockers would be if a tornado came and swooped through that motherfucker. But that's what they was telling us to do if a tornado came through. You know what I'm saying? So how do you prep your kids for a motherfucker coming up in there and black ops and that shit? You know what I'm saying?
We have fire drills.
That too.
They do fire drills all the time. Like ring the bell and all the kids will line up on an order for your class and grade. They will stand outside for like 15, 20 minutes and they will go back inside. They'll actually have like the fire department just come check it out, or just have like a regular fire drill. You know, so it was you know, it was different. You know, different things used to happen. You know, back when I was coming up, they used to have I think it was like a there was a cop that came in with a briefcase,
Mm-hmm.
and the briefcase had different drugs, and this is like in the 80s,
nigga, we had
mid to late 80s.
We had the DARE program. I got
and the cop would come in with a briefcase full of different drugs. He had coke, heroin, he had weed.
Which one did you inspect the most? Because
it's funny because
the cop would all the kids run up to it.
No, what he would do is he would set it up like telling what each drug does to your body and tell you like how many people died from it. And he would say at the end, now which one of these drugs, does any of these drugs that you see here in any one of your household or parents, any one of your family take any of these drugs? If they do, come up and point to it.
Oh,
I was like, yeah, man.
Ninjas?
Yes. Niggas was pointing at weed. One kid pointed at coke. I said, oh, shit.
That's crazy.
I pulled up to the side, called a teacher, called a guidance counselor, contact the parents. Yeah, man, they was on that shit back in the mid to late 80s, man. They stopped that shit.
Man, they never did that shit in my school. I remember when we had the DARE program and shit, right? Police officers come in there, giving the T-shirts and all this shit, you coloring books and all this goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? We thought it was cool back then. Like, I was scared of every drug. It took me a long time to smoke weed and shit like that because that's a drug. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell no, man. I already be amped up, so I never wanted to do no cocaine. If I'm already amped, I don't need to do shit that's going to make me get hyper. Because I will be one of them motherfuckers that'll wake up in jail or somebody be done blew my motherfucking brains out because I wigged the fuck out. So, like, we always did that shit, but I never remember them folks asking us, which drugs are you familiar with in your household?
Yo.
They was just like, I remember him popping open a little shit and having a little display. And they kind of, we gravitating like, ooh, this what that look like? Ooh, that's what that is. And wow, that's how many people died? Like, you don't know the full scope when you were in elementary. I think I didn't know. Maybe
some kids pointing to that shit.
Now you got me wondering if I ever snitched on my folks, man.
Talking about, I saw my grandpa smoking weed one day. Like, what the fuck?
They didn't even call it weed; it was called reefer, and reefer was a.
Oh yeah. You couldn't. And they used the what's that white paper? Was it backward?
My folks just rolled tops.
Oh no, they call bamboo paper. There you go, bamboo paper. That's what my grandmother used to use.
Some old Willie Nelson ass shit. Motherfucking yellow pack with a blue, I think it was red, white, and blue top on the motherfucker.
Oh man,
tops rolling paper. That's how I know weed in my early existence.
Yo, my grandmother was, God rest her soul, she was the biggest pothead. She'd come up to New York from North Carolina, and she'd go to my aunt's house and see the family and everybody. And she knows my cousin is a fucking pothead. She goes to me, hey baby, how you doing? He said, hey Ruby, how you doing? He said, you know what I want? I need some reefer. He's like, what? He's like, nigga, you heard what I said? He's like, we reefer, whatever, same shit, nigga. Go give me a 20 sack or something. He was like, nigga, you got the money? She pulled the money out. I'm like, grandma. She was like, nigga, shut up. I was like, oh shit.
He probably said, go sit the fuck down somewhere.
But she found out I was smoking too. She was like, oh shit.
Yeah, before that's one good thing I had with my old dude when I got grown, man. Coming from adolescence, because I always knew he smoked weed. I think he snorted a little blow and shit back in the days, because them niggas used to try to dress like Philip Michael Thomas from Miami Vice and shit. Them niggas thought they was cool with their
I remember you telling me that.
Pierre Cardins and little slippers with no socks. I always thought that shit was goofy. But you know what I'm saying? And then when we got older and shit, I was able to smoke with my pops and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that shit was all good. But one time I smoked a blunt with the motherfucker and he damn near choked forever. I thought I was gonna go to jail. I'm like, this nigga better not die tonight. Not tonight. He been hitting this motherfucker too hard. And that's the transition from when we was adolescents to when we got older. Like, how you view your children? Do you think they getting the same experience that you had growing up? Or do you feel like it's just like a whole new world for them?
it's this generation is different. You know, social media plays a big part in this generation's lives. They're always on the gram, always on Facebook, always on YouTube. You know, they Snapchat and know Kick and all that other shit. They recording themselves. I'm to me, I'm getting sick and tired of this fucking iPhone filter with the dog nose and ears and the tongue and all that dumb shit. He's like a cat. Everyone doing that. I hate that shit now. It's like this generation, these filters is what's popping now. This is what's popular, and this is what this generation is using. Like back when we was coming, we used to go outside. Going outside I mean going on the block, playing games like remember kick the can, freeze tag, you know, manhunt. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Well, we used to put what was that shit called? Jackson. You know, we used to play board games like Monopoly.
Yeah, we fuck with marbles too. Marbles.
Man. Hopscotch, all that shit.
That was our first hustle, the marbles. Like we was shooting them motherfuckers like shooting dice. Like nigga want to shoot marbles, I'm trying to take all yours.
Yeah. You know, I remember when we was kids, we'd be at school, we had free time, we played board games like the Game of Life, Sorry, Trouble, Monopoly, we played checkers, chess. What other board game was good back in the day?
Connect Four.
Connect Four, damn.
I bang your head in right now on some Connect Four.
It would be on play on the board, play tic tac toe and all that shit. The kids today don't know nothing about that. It's like I think I mentioned that to my nephew. He's like, "What is that, Uncle D?" I'm like, "You never heard of it? You never heard of playing this game and that game?" He was like, "No." It's like, "Yeah, but he know how to play NBA 2K like a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Create his own game, go on, start up a career." I'm like, back then we didn't have video games, man. No, video games came out. We had Nintendo, we had Sega Genesis.
We had them, but my folks wasn't going. Like right when they first came out, they wasn't spending $100 for that. When I was still wanting to go to the arcade. See, we actually had the arcade. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need this shit at the crib because we only probably had a couple TVs in the crib anyway. Now when you go in the house, everybody got a TV in every fucking room. See, our kids don't even know that shit. You know, I think the first TV I had in my room was a black and white TV. You know what I'm saying?
And it belonged to someone else.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was like they finally gave this motherfucker to me. You know what I'm saying? It's mine now, bitch. I can watch what I want to watch. And you probably only got about 4 or 5 different channels that came in. And then when they had the little coaxial cable on the back, somebody would step on it, pull it off the back of it. Now you got the butter knife because you ain't got no motherfucking flathead screwdriver. So you try to unscrew that motherfucker and try to put it up there. Don't step on the cord. Somebody always come back right back in the room right when the show or whatever you're watching is good. Boom, your shit out of there. It's the same way with phones. Everybody got cell phones now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, these kids don't know how good they have. And that back when we was coming up, we had to use pliers to turn the channel if the knob broke. We had to use, if the antenna broke, we had to use the
pliers on that
hanger. Yeah, use the hanger to extend the hanger for the antenna. And we used to wrap the what was it, aluminum foil around that shit to get a clear picture. We used to smack the side of the TV to make the shit work.
All of that shit, man. You trying to blow in your Nintendo tape to make sure that motherfucker work. How do we really work? That shit probably never really worked. You know what I'm saying?
And remember when you got the Nintendo cleaner and the cartridge start working better than ever.
Man, they was on some bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, just like I was just about to say, like even with the phones, man, like everybody got a phone, man. I can come in the crib, anybody crib in America damn near, and you would just look around, somebody got their phone in their hand looking at that shit. Back when we came up, we had like we never had more than 2 phones. Look at the screen right quick.
Hold on, I can't even look at it. My daughter got my laptop.
Distracted by the screen, man. Look at the screen, D. Holla. This was you after the motherfucking PT parent teacher conference, right there. That's you. Damn, KT. My man laid back, man. But even with the phones, like I remember not having more than 2 phones in the crib, and it was just one line. So like
And it was a long ass cord.
man, that motherfucker stretched all the way around the crib, and if that coaxial piece little break out, you try to tape that shit in. Somebody always step on the cord right when you're in the middle of a conversation. And
Wait, hold on. Tell that story you told me about talking to that when you talking to someone that you like on the phone and you got called with to tell that story.
Hell yeah. You already know how it was. Back in the day, Steve. I remember when the phones didn't have call waiting. Like you had to pay extra for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that didn't just come with the plan. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to, it was some new shit and everybody didn't have it, but you know, you be on the fucking phone and your mother or whoever in higher authority to you telling you what time a call gonna come in. And you don't give a fuck. You done ran past it because you talking to your sweetie on the phone, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We call it caking it up. You know what I'm saying? You caking with your little honey or whatever and shit. And then your folks, the next day, Miss Sarah said she was calling the motherfucking house. She been calling, has been busy the whole goddamn time. So you get grounded for that shit. You know what I'm saying? You get your fucking ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? And you can't get on the phone for a fucking week. Nigga, you better not call. You can't even call 911. And I remember when 911 was new. You used to have to just dial 0 for the operator and tell them.
Yeah, and they would connect you to 911. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we from that generation that came from the last part of some older ways in the 21st century or whatever to now where everybody got a phone in their hand. They got this shit called Alexa and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can ask this bitch any fucking thing. If we would have had Alexa when we was in school, everybody would have got straight A's, I feel like it. So I feel like our kids don't even know the advantages of the technology they got because they've always had it. That's just my take on a lot of that shit.
You know, I remember when you talked about, get online for the free lunches, like in the summer in New York, they have the programs, the PAL, the police athletic league camp. And they used to set up like inside the schools or in certain neighborhoods, and they used to give free lunches like the kids, I think it was like under 18 years of age. And you go in there, I used to be at my old school in PS 21 in the Bronx, and we go downstairs and start seeing some of the teachers that I had when I was a kid. Like, hey, how's it going? Oh, things good. You get the free lunch, you get to play games, run around.
Right.
Back then you never went on a field trip. The field trip was going to the fucking park and doing other activities, But nowadays, this generation, they get to go on trips like the camps. They'll go away to camp. Back when we were young, we went away to camp. Like remember that program? What was the name of that program where the city kid would go to like the south or go to a farm and spend like a week or two?
See, my area D was a little different because we went on hella field trips. But the only way you went on them, they was all based off performance and being straight. So like it's a gang of trips I missed because it was like, you've been clowning, you done got rolled up like 7 times, dude. You ain't going. Get it through your head no matter what you do. You trying to get cool. Like everybody call everybody the bozo nowadays. Bozo ass nigga. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, nigga. The Bozo Show used to come on TV every fucking morning. They taped it in Chicago, and every year at school, we always get to go to the Bozo Show. At the end of the year, at some point, the whole school gonna go to the Bozo Show, and you just hoping when you get there, they pick you for one of the games, you can win something. They never picked us when we went anyway. Never. They never put our black asses on that shit. But I remember one year wanting to go so fucking bad, it's Bozo Show time, and they kept telling us, if you get X amount of demerits or whatever the fuck going on, you not going. And like 3 days before we was going, I caught one of them bitches, and I thought they was gonna let me slide. That was a quick reminder early on in life that when you fuck up, you can't go. But I was devastated I didn't go to the Bozo Show. Devastated. You know what I'm saying? I don't think our kids got them kind of consequences or repercussions a lot of times. But they can still have them core values if you as a parent start remembering where you came from and how you came up and start implementing that in raising your kids. Because some of these kids just don't even fucking know. We so quick to throw a phone in their face. Like how many kids you see all the time always just run up, let me see your phone. Like my kids never held my phone.
Mhm.
But I don't have young kids since these phones been out like this. You know what I'm saying? My kids
Mhm.
are a little older, but I'm thinking of like when my little nieces and some of my nieces and nephews' kids come up. Can I see your phone play it? Hell no, this ain't your phone. It's not for you. Go find something else to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole bunch of shit. But I see a lot of people just they kids getting on their nerves so bad. Here go the phone. Go play the fucking game. They all on your
Oh
motherfucking phone.
yeah.
Ain't no telling what the fuck they saying.
And here's the thing: that some kids are real smart. When you put your password on, the kids already know what it is. Because some shit is probably your kid's birthday. Oh,
You hear me?
oh, it's my birthday. You typing in, they start going through. But like you tell them, oh, 'cause some parents will download a 1 or 2 games for their kids to play. Kids will
Hmm.
bypass that shit and start going to pictures. Now, if you got some pictures up there that
Right.
your kid's not supposed to be looking at,
They be
then
seeing
guess
their
what?
mama get bust
You
down
like,
on that
mama,
motherfucker.
mama, what's that? What's that? What is that on your nose? Oh, that's lotion. Really? Why is it like on top?
Damn.
If you got, if you got some pictures in there, you might want to hide it or lock it, especially if your kid knows your password and your child is real nosy. Like you gotta handle that shit, cause
They
you want to
like,
be the
mama,
victim.
why that dude D poot in your face, mama, on through your phone?
Like, come on, man.
But yeah, I always feel like, cause this is what we was taught too. Kids are supposed to be seen and not heard at times. You know what I'm saying? It
Facts.
was it was always knowing there's a time and a place for everything. I remember getting told that all the time. Like yeah, that was funny, but it's a time for that. This ain't the time. Go sit the fuck down. See, that's what people need to start telling their kids when they first growing up. You gotta have that fear in your kids that they know. Not fear meaning anything they do, they finna get their ass whooped. But they gotta know it's consequences for the shit that you do. You know what I'm saying? You got kids out here catching murder charge, like they killing off social media posts and mad at this and mad at that. They not even knowing the consequences of what they getting themselves into till it's too fucking late. And if your folks ain't got no money, if you was broke on the streets, think about how broke your ass gonna be in jail if you catch a 25-year charge. You see what I'm saying? Motherfucker can't even take care of you no more. As a kid, we owe it to ourselves and our kids, man, to make sure that they straight. But
Mhm.
sometimes I feel like sharing the stories and telling them about our shit and showing them our past. That's the only way we're
Mhm.
gonna be able to bridge the gap because them figuring it out on their own, we already know the schools ain't gonna show them shit. The school's gonna teach them what they think they need to know. Meaning
Mhm.
the board of education getting governed by somebody, even with these charter schools and shit. It's almost like everybody needs to start homeschooling their fucking kids. But how can we realistically homeschool our kids when we have to work to pay this rent, pay these bills, and do all that type of shit? Who really gonna do the sacrifices? Who gonna step up and say, "Hey, your kids can get a homeschool type schooling, and you can still go to work"? It ain't really happening like that. But I feel like in our days, it was a little easier, but it was trending towards where it's at now.
Mhm.
Nothing new under the sun. Same old shit. Adolescence.
You know,
Back in the days.
back in the day, back in the day, it was just different. Back then, kids get their ass whooped, parents would be cool. Now you whip your kids, the kids be the kids will tell the social worker or tell the teacher, and you got the cops and the social worker ask you all kind of questions. Your kid hurt themselves at home, whether you at fault or not. You take them to the doctor or the hospital. The
Right.
the, the doctor will tell the social worker or administrator on duty, which is called an AOD, and they will contact the social worker and they start asking you all kind of questions. Then they separate you and the child, so asking the child questions like, "Has your mother ever hit you? Has your mother beat you with a belt before?
Right. And
Did
then and
she
then
any
and then
bruises? Where did
right and
she
then
touch you? Do you have a crazy
right.
stepfather?" They do shit like
All
that.
that shit. And then some of our European family, you know what I'm saying? They might just come. You might whoop they whoop their kids and then they come back and they kill their parents and shit.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of our European family members they do that type of shit. They get mad and they come back and they blast everybody up in the motherfucking school. You know what I'm saying? But look like it's about that time. I think it's supposed to be a music break right now.
Yeah, music break right now.
And we'll be
Let's
right
check
back.
out check out these songs that we put up, towards what we talking about, adolescent kids, man. We'll be right back. We're gonna talk some more shit.
You heard?
Yo, we back.
Yeah, a goddamn hard knock life on you bitches and back
Oh
again.
hell yeah.
Talking that adolescent shit, man. D man, we were reminiscing, man, for this show, man. And we went all the way back to, you remember back when you had a little girlfriend and shit. It wasn't no texting, it wasn't no Snapchatting. You couldn't
Nah.
Marco Polo, you couldn't do the Vine and all this extra shit where you could share shit, do all this. You couldn't be going
Mm-hmm.
Periscope, people seeing your shit. We had to physically get out here and talk to girls when we
Mm-hmm.
wanted to. We didn't know what catfishing was. You couldn't get catfish unless that was called a blind date. Catfish is
Yes.
a blind date. And it was usually somebody setting you up so they knew how the other motherfucker looked. They just didn't know how you was going to perceive it. Because how many times you had motherfuckers telling you, oh, bro, she's straight. She's straight, bro, man. Come on, man. And then you already know, man. Okay, take one for the team. I'm going to see. And you get over there. She ain't looking nothing like what you thought she was going to look like. It was called blind date. But we even had the times you couldn't text me. My girl used to just drop me a letter. You know what I'm saying? You pass in the hallway, boom.
Uh-huh.
And they used to fold the little paper a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You remember how this shit used to be? You know what
Hell
I'm saying?
yeah.
Boy,
Remember the letter used to say, it would say three things. You would say, do you like me? And it would say, just the box would say yes, no, or maybe.
I check all them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But them was the gist of how we did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really had to get out there and assert yourself. You know what I'm saying? At an early age. And I think our kids, all they shit is just like handed to them.
It's easy for them to find a woman through the internet. Now, back then, we see a girl out in the street, we be with our friends, and we would have like a pen and like a little, like a little phone book, we call it the black book. You went up to her, talk to her, hey, what's going on? And if you said the right things, you got the girl's number. Now, back then, especially if you with your friends, you had something to prove, like, yo, shorty over here looking real nice. The one with the blue skirt, with the with the braids in the hair, like, yeah. You go over there, you say a few things. One
Right.
thing, two things you had to be sure. One, you couldn't be stinking, and two, your breath had to be straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Because back then the
Exactly
girl
right.
looked like, yeah, I don't know, man, your breath stink. They let you know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on? I had a girl tell I was watching I can't remember I was watching that movie that Billy D. Williams and I think it was Diana Ross did. I can't remember the name of the movie.
I know what you're
And it was
talking about, though.
yeah, there was that one line Billy D said. I said, I'm gonna use it on one of these girls one day. And so happened like a week later. So this little light skin thing on Allerton Avenue in the Bronx. I was about to go to the
And he had
movie theater. I'm like, hey,
Had him a little yellow piece.
hell yeah. I was like, hey, what's going on? I said the line, and she was like, she laughed. I'm like, damn, cold-blooded. I was like, why are you laughing? She was like, Billy D. Williams. I said, oh, man, I was hurt. I was like, hey,
What Billy D used to say on the Coke 45, don't let the smooth taste food.
takes food. You're damn right. But you know what's funny? After she said, Billy D, when you just saw the movie, I was like, yeah. And we was talking. I was like, damn. I was like, I feel embarrassed. She's like, no, don't be. I said, well, let me get your number. You know what's funny? She took my pen and wrote it in my hand. Said, call me later.
You didn't wash your hand. You was like, man,
What? I couldn't wait to get. I went to the store. Check this out. I went to the nearest pizzeria, got a napkin, took that pen and wrote that shit down there, and put it. And I was praying I didn't lose that damn napkin.
you put that motherfucker in the little pocket. You know how you got the little bitty pocket?
Yeah, so it won't fall out. Yeah.
I know what you was on, D. Holly. You ain't slick. But see, I was no different, man. I used to be the one to tell a female, bitch, your breath stink. Get away from me. Like, go and wash your goddamn feet. If you tell a girl to go wash her feet back in, even to this day, it still works. But we learned that shit back in the day. You ever want to make a girl mad that's getting on your nerves, just tell her to go wash your goddamn feet. I don't know what it is about saying that, but it throw them out of there. So like even back then, we played the dozens, we cracked the jokes, you know what I'm saying, joning, roasting, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, and it never was no big deal after the fact. The contrast to the adolescence of today, you might get your motherfucking brains blowed out if you joan a nigga too hard on Facebook. If these niggas take it that way, like a lot of these beefs start from motherfuckers just talking shit. The normal shit talking we did. If you played basketball, you couldn't play basketball as a youngin' if you couldn't take no shit talking. Like it just wasn't gonna work. So like with dealing with chicks, I used to tell them straight up, man, like you ought to be glad you kicking it with us. I always felt like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we had a lot of girls that they didn't necessarily want to fuck with us, but they fuck with the dudes that was already out of school 2-3 years. Remember we talking about that shit too. Like, damn, like I know you want to fuck with the dude probably because he got a whip or he doing his thing or whatever. But I'm looking at these dudes like, why y'all niggas grown and still want to fuck with girls that's in school? Y'all snatching all our females up. Y'all grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never understood that shit. I never understood that shit, D. You know what I'm saying? The contrast to where like the younger they say the girls mature faster than the boys. They go through puberty and all that shit earlier. Could that be the reason why when they're young they want to fuck with older dudes?
It was, yeah, they mess with older dudes, you know, because they were more mature. And I remember I was telling you that story when I was in high school. I think I was like in 11th grade. I had to go to night school to get more credits. You know, the class I failed, I had to go to night school, you know, earn them credits. And I went to Roosevelt High School, Fordham Road in the Bronx. And I had to take a math class. I had Mondays and Wednesdays was my day for night school from 7 to 9:30, right? In my science class, there was, what was it, 20, there was 27 people in the classroom, right? 21 of them were girls.
How many numbers you get? How many numbers you get out there?
Yo, you know what's funny?
D, if you don't get numbers, man,
No, check. That's when I realized the girls that I was attracted to were attracted to dudes that were older, because the guy that one girl I was trying to talk to, she's like, yeah, you know, blah blah blah. I get outside, she jumping a whip with a dude that's in his damn near in his, you know, he was like in his like 25, 26 years old. So I'm like, man, was she seeing him? And no, he's too old for her. And then, you know, one of my homegirls explained it to me that
he didn't pull it up in the motherfucking 5.0 looking like Kane on Menace to Society and shit.
Yeah, he was because he was more mature. So I you know, and you know, as you get older,
and you was wearing Franklins, ain't that?
No, not that. I was in high school, man. That was junior high wearing Franklins. I had a pair of construction Timbs on, man.
Oh, okay. You just Timmed up.
Hell yeah. I thought I was the shit back then. I was like, man, I got my Mechas on, got my construction Timbs on. You can't tell me shit, girl. And my haircut is sharp. Come on, girl. What? And you know, as I got older, I started seeing, okay, now I see what was going on, because the girls in their teens didn't guys in their 20s and 30s because they're more mature. They've been through life. They know what they're doing. They know how to handle business. So, you know, I was like, damn, that's crazy. No, it was, you know, when you in your mid-20s, girls in 18, 22, 23, even when you're 30s, girls are 18 and 25 are attracted to you because you've been through life. You know what you're doing. You know, you traveled and everything. So they know they will have a good time with you, and they will learn something from you, you know?
Right. I always felt like if you looked apart, man, maybe you could pull it. Like, so you think if you had your construction Timbs on, if you would have had them Birdman lugs on, you definitely wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? You would have had them motherfuckers on, it would have been a no-go. Because it was the same.
Hell no.
Like, I wasn't real confident with the females. That's why I think I used to rag on them, because I was like, if I was scared of rejection, so it was like if she tell me she don't want to fuck with me, then I'm gonna be like, go wash your feet, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Something. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna get on this bitch head. Something like, bitch, you gotta like me, or I'm gonna fire your ass up. I'm gonna roast the shit out your motherfucking ass. If you don't, keep it moving. You know, that's how I always looked at it. But when I moved to Memphis, it was something different because in Memphis they got Beale Street down there. Now the way Beale Street's set up now, I think on Fridays and Saturdays you got to be 21 and older after a certain time at night. Then the way they got it set up, like to even come down on Beale Street, you got to go through like checkpoint areas where whether it's a real cop or just somebody that's working the line or whatever. They check your ID, they let you down there, then you free the mob wherever the parameter is. But when I was down there, they didn't have none of that shit. So our whole mission every Friday night was to, and just before we had licenses and even driving and shit, like how we gonna get to Beale Street and how we gonna get home. My whole thing was we could ride the bus down there early and be there, but how the fuck we gonna get all the way back to Whitehaven, which we call it Black Haven. So it ain't just real close to downtown, and ain't no mobbing. Because if you mob, you got to go through neighborhoods that, you know what I'm saying? And you got to deal with racist ass motherfucking police late at night when you 15, 16, 17 years old. So we had that secure. The whole mission to go on Beale Street was to see who can get the most numbers when we get there. Same way we're going to the mall as youngins. We went to the mall plenty of times and didn't have no fucking money. But the whole mission was to meet girls from different parts of the city.
That's right.
Try to get that number, because my whole thing was if she give me that number, I get on the phone, conversation rule the nation. Bitch, you gonna love to call me. I'm gonna make you laugh, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna even get grounded off the phone because I'm not gonna click over. If I got the right one, I didn't sacrifice phone time just to talk to a motherfucker one time. You know what I'm saying? That's how serious it was when we was kids, man. But I don't think our kids look at it like that now because they got a cell phone, man. Like my son called me from school one time, like in class, and asked me what the fuck I was doing. And I'm like, motherfucker, ain't you supposed to be? Yeah, but we got a substitute right now, and he just, he letting us do whatever we do. Man, get the fuck off your phone, man. You can call me. You can call me in third period while I'm at work, ask me what I'm doing. Dad, you think you can bring me a burger when you get off? Like, this motherfucker, you placing orders? I want to see straight A's if you can do that. I could never fathom that in my mind when we was in school, being able to do shit like that. So I think our kids got too much access at times.
Yeah, they got access to everything social media offers, I mean, this generation can get a girl by just putting up certain words and then adding a bunch of emojis. The girls like that shit, Back then we had to like talk to them, be in their face, know. We had to, back then you couldn't get a naked picture easy. You had to like really talk. Yeah, the game had to be on point.
I remember we had the homie in the hood that every nigga had that one boy that he could supply all the porn because his daddy was a freak master. His mama, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you need to get a flick or a book, I know a dude that got it. This nigga got everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think our kids don't get that type of shit because they got a phone, man. They can go right on it, man.
Oh,
if you got a young kid, you got to really go through their phone and you got to set that shit. You got to set that shit up to how you want it before you put it in their hand. But as soon as you put it in their hand, they so fucking smart. They gonna bypass all this. My kids showed me what to do on computer. You see what I'm saying? Because we didn't have them classes like that until later on. They got it automatically right now. They don't even know school without fucking without computers in them. You see what I'm saying? Like I remember Thursday was like computer day. They got motherfucking. They don't even got chalkboards, man. They call them smart boards now. You go in their class and the teacher at her desk and the shit popping on the screen like, bitch, get your lazy ass up and make a motherfucker do something.
Yo, you remember back in the day, only way you could get on a computer was going to the library, and the library you had to go there if you wanted to see a certain movie. They would show movies for the neighborhood kids.
Oh yeah, these kids don't even know what a card catalog is, man. Ask a kid to go in the library and find a book just by going in the card catalog. What is that? What is that? They
It's
don't
like
know
they,
that.
they go online. They be like, well, the book,
Google.
it says the book is in this library. I mean,
Rick was
where
talking
is
about
it?
that shit earlier. The Google shit. All they gotta do is Google shit now. Google.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, the word Google was like for a cross-eyed motherfucker, googly-eyed motherfucker. Like, what the fuck is a Google? Google. Google was googly.
Yo,
You know what I
yo,
mean?
you remember these books from the encyclopedia books that every black family had in their household?
The Encyclopedia Britannica. You know what I'm saying? They used to sell them bitches too. You wake up late at night and turn on TV, they trying to sell you them bitches on a little infomercial or something.
Hell yeah. Yeah, but like I was saying back then, you get a girl, you talk to her, you had to be in her face, you actually go on a real date. You couldn't get naked pictures easy. The girl had to be comfortable. She had to find somebody to take the damn pictures for her because she had to get a disposable camera.
And it was all Polaroids, my nigga.
Yes. If it wasn't Polaroid, it was a digital camera. She had to take to a fucking Dwayne Reed or something like that to get the shits printed out for like $7-8.
Yep, you know what I'm saying? You had to trust who was gonna print them because you didn't want everybody to see them.
Hell yeah, he was like, yo, what's that? Why is she wearing that?
So you had to be on the black market to get your smut, is what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
You had to go underground, honey. He was a nasty motherfucker, man. You my nigga though. What you was trying to talk to girls and they say, come on, man. And Polaroid film was expensive. That shit wasn't cheap, man.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was not cheap, man.
Yeah, it was, remember the Polaroids, when you take the picture, it comes out, you had to fan it a little.
Mm-hmm.
just to see the shit come out right, Now
everything's digital, man. Even Yo Gotti said, Snapchat me that pussy.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
It goes down in the DM.
Nowadays, back then we go to the movie theater. You could see 2-3 movies for like $6. You get popcorn. You pay for one ticket, get popcorn, soda, and a damn hot dog for all one price. Nowadays, you pay $15, $16, even $25 for a fucking movie, and that's just your ticket. We ain't talking about hers and getting food and shit.
Yeah, I suggest anybody that love to go to movies, and that frequent movies and spend a lot of movies. And this is what you got to do. You just got to find somebody that work at the movies, preferably the manager, shift leaders and shit, and they got them free passes. So allegedly right now, if you in St. Louis, I can get you free movie passes for $5. Hit me behind the scenes, and I make sure you can get in the movies for $5. You know what I'm saying? So now you have a little extra money to spend. But if you're doing that shit, even back then, D, like when you was younger, you seem like to me like you took a girl on a date before you was an adult. Mm-hmm. You did that before? You saved up some money like, this is my girl, I'm gonna take out and do all that type of shit?
Yeah, well, first of all, I had to ask you.
And I'm talking about adolescence.
Yeah. I had to do chores and shit. Clean up your room, do this and that. Like, Mom, I want to go. Like, my whole thing was
earn some money.
Yeah. I would. My moms would give me money, and I would say, "Hey, Ma, Saturday, I'm going to Skate Key." Skate Key was in the Bronx, right on White Plains Road and everything. I would go to Skate Key. It was a skating ring. Everyone for the Bronx, Harlem, Brooklyn, Queens heard of Skate Key. Went there with my friends on Saturdays, had fun. And that's when I started meeting some of the girls. Met them on the train, walking towards Skate Key or inside the damn skating ring. And just meet different females. Out of the same borough, different boroughs,
But was you a skater, though? Because if you was
hell yeah. You kidding me?
You was on a different level.
Hell yeah. I was having fun.
You can't be the nigga that go to the skating ring and don't skate. Like, what the fuck?
Hell no. I was on my TI shit. Fucking fucking ATL, nigga.
Motherfuckers still skate. I don't skate no more, but like, it's a big circuit for adults from adolescent to adult that they still skate out here like that, man.
I don't even know, man, 'cause that shit closed down. Once they moved it from that part of Bronx and put it by the South Bronx and the projects, that shit was left.
You'll be surprised.
Shit, right across a Mott Haven project. That was it.
It's some niggas that's 45 years old plus meeting up once or twice a week somewhere, getting it in, my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a joke too till I moved up here, and I was like, damn, man, these motherfuckers, they skate for real. Yeah, man, it's a dope skate.
Yeah, man, it's
lit.
yo, it's like dancing. Like I remember going to a party. I used to work at Lincoln Hospital in the Bronx, and a couple of my coworkers like in their 40s and 50s and shit, and they were, they had like dances at some banquet hall for their church, and everyone dressed up. This is the first time I seen a couple that's been married for 50 years. They was in their 70s. And they were two-stepping around the fucking place like they didn't miss a beat. Like you could tell, the man had a hip replacement. He was killing it.
Man, breaking it. He was James Browning on y'all.
Yeah, man, he was getting down. I said, well, damn, player.
Yeah, fuck you, young whippersnapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he looked at me. He said, come here, young boy, pay attention. I'm going to show you how old folks get down. I'm like, okay,
right.
whatever.
I was about to say, I would have danced with his wife. I would have broke it down on him. Let me show you what it is.
Nah, because he saw how I was doing on the dance floor. He looked at me. He's like, all right, young whippersnapper.
Yeah, you was out there.
I was like, all right, man. See, back then when we were younger, when we were young, we used to go to dance party. It was called a house party.
Yeah.
Someone's house to go to.
And then all you need is that red light bulb in the basement, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
You got to pay to get in that shit. All you needed was somebody playing the music, and hopefully your homies come.
Wait. You had that one person that didn't want to dance, or, that everyone knew, like, yo, that nigga gonna be the lookout. So you be downstairs dancing.
I ain't gonna front. I was that nigga, like, I don't trust nobody in this bitch. And the girl that I want, she already dancing with my homie and shit. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait. You ever dance with a chick and you say, yo, I'll be right back. You come back, your man all over, like, yo, nigga, what are you doing?
See, we discussed that last night too. See, we came through an era of cock blocking. Cock blocking was at its all-time peak. Like when I was in motherfucking high school and into my early adulthood too, being an adolescent. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with that type of shit. Like I've known dudes that altered their whole lives over relationships because when they was coming up, they didn't know how to deal with females in certain situations. So, you know what I'm saying? If the girl don't want to be with you, hey, nigga, there's so many females out here. You just said it yourself, D. It was 20 plus motherfuckers in the class, and it was like 6 of y'all, 7 of y'all.
Yep.
Boy. So like, what the fuck is you? Okay, you're gonna be sad for a minute. You're gonna be listening to sad songs. You're gonna be at the crib in the field position for about 2 days. I give you 2 days. When we was adolescents, 2 days. If she didn't want me no more, how many times did a girl stop liking you because she really liked your homie, but you was the one that hollered at her first? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
He might have been more shy than me, but see, I never been no hater on that shit. Hey, skirts is to be shared, my dude. I'd rather her be fucking with him than some bozo ass nigga that we ain't fuck with or something. You know what I'm saying?
Especially a nigga you don't like. I'm like, man, you fucking with him?
Yep.
Hell no.
Or you got the motherfuckers like, I had a chick, she found her folks found, I think she lied and said she was spending like somewhere else, but she ended up where we was at. And they know that she don't never get a chance to come out, but these motherfuckers want to stick around. Take your bitch ass home, man. She ain't trying to bust down with all y'all in the crib, man. Like, get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? But
thirsty ass niggas.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be hard to tell your buddy because it's your buddy, and you be like, man, look, bro, you niggas still in here talking, man. Like, I see your lips moving, but I ain't hearing shit. It's time to go. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. Cock blocking was at its peak in the mid '90s, man.
Oh yeah.
You know
Nowadays, cock blocking is done on the internet. You know, you be talking to a girl and someone DM it. The DM is crazy because someone can slide to some girl DM and you like her picture. The nigga sliding her DM, getting the number. You like, man, what the fuck?
Hey, that screenshot shit is the biggest cock block move of all time.
Hell yeah.
Motherfucker, once they taught a motherfucker how to screenshot some shit, it fucked the whole game up. Now they can spin it the way they want to spin it. They can
like, oh, this nigga talking about you.
Yeah,
Like, this nigga talking about you. You still want to fuck with this nigga? Ah, he a lame. You like, damn, man.
They freezing something you said in time and making it their own. They might as well go to Hollywood and start writing movie scripts. If you're gonna take your time to create stories by screenshotting, that's the new era. That's what these kids do now. Like, we would have never done those. Like, exposing was not that. It was called checking a motherfucker. So, like, if somebody did something, you waited for that like I said earlier, a time and a place. Like, I really want to get this nigga right now. And I could do it while everybody here. But you know what? I'm going to catch this motherfucker when he least expected. And I'm going to
by himself.
Yeah, I'm going to remind him. I ain't trying to embarrass him and do none of that shit. Especially if I fuck with you. You fuck with me, you stuck with me. Everybody know that anyway. So it's like, I don't really got to just oust him right now. But, you know, I'm finna show him that, you know, you don't have to do this type of shit, and you don't have to be like that. If she wanna be with you, she gonna be with you. Put your bid in. And if you my boy and you really like her like that, you would tell me like, damn, man, you know I liked her. Then I could be like, well, damn, do something, man. Shoot your shot. Like, what the fuck is you doing? Don't nobody own nobody. These girls will dump your ass, man.
Hell yeah.
I done been dumped by letter before. Like, give this to him. And then you open it up thinking she finna say what's popping. And she like, I don't like you no more. You didn't call me last night, or you ain't been showing me no attention. Whatever the fuck it could have been. You know what I'm saying? But I never hated on that. You young motherfuckers got to stop this cock blocking shit. And for you dudes that get cock blocked, instead of being mad at your mans, show them a different way. Because these dudes get mad. They throw friendships that they've been knowing this dude since the 3rd grade. And then all of a sudden, over simple disagreements, we can all agree to disagree. I might not fuck with you how I used to fuck with you, but that don't mean I wish you no ill will. I don't want to kill you. I don't want to, you know, because if I say I want to hurt somebody that I fucked with for real, that make me look fake. How can you say you want to hurt somebody you say you fuck with? Like, that's fake shit. So these kids don't decipher that. And I think it's because a lot of us adults, this is what we showing them as we speak in adolescence.
But
you know what I'm saying?
This generation, they allow the cock blockers to destroy a friendship that's been going on for more than 10 plus years. You know, motherfuckers is getting killed over some ass. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers killing for some pussy. Like, oh, you say you don't like me anymore, and they start to like they take their lives. Like, yo, if I can't have you, no one can. That shit didn't go on when we was kids, you know. She didn't want you. Well, you know, her homegirl standing over there, she look lonely. Yeah, let me holler at her. You know, we just didn't stop. We always was taught there's more fish in the sea. We didn't stop.
Right.
You know, girls say, oh, you know, you cute, but I like your friend. Like, damn, that's fucked up. All right, what's your homegirl name? Let me holler at you for a minute. And sometimes that shit works out for you. You like, damn, I'm glad I dodged the bullet, because I remember this one girl I liked back in the day. And you know how when you see someone that you like back in, let's say, junior high or high school, let's say high school, when you see them now, you're like, oh, hell no, I'm glad I didn't get that bitch number. She looks like shit. And that happened to me a couple of years ago. There's one girl that used to go to my high school, real pretty, tall, light skin.
She slid in your DM.
Yeah, no. Well, no, here's the thing. We was cool. She didn't pay me no mind until she came to the hospital I was working at, and I was like, yo, you look familiar. I said, you went to Morris High? She was like, yeah, we talking. And I remember this chick trying to play me. All of a sudden, she need my help. Hey, can you do me a favor? I need to see the dog. She crying. I'm like, all right, yo, this is my sister. Yeah, make sure she take care of her. Gonna find out this bitch a stripper. Well, she was a stripper back then. I was like, what? And the fucked up. The hell, here's the
money making those shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But all I know is her pops was the we used to go to school safety officer at our high school.
The resource.
So, man. So I was like, what does your pop say? Well, you know, he was disappointed in me because I'm his baby girl.
As he should.
You know, and he don't want nobody looking at me like that. I'm like, well, you know, you out there take your clothes off, niggas gonna look. I mean,
hey man, I never
can't you get a job?
They dance to get their money and shit, man. It's just like shit. 9 times out of 10, if I was fucking with a chick and she was shaking off in the club and shit, I probably wouldn't be with her like 100% of the way. Like we just be fucking with each other. You know what I'm saying? But if she was like my 100% of the way, I'm in that motherfucker. We finna let's get this motherfucking cash up. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna try to turn into something else to where you can promote yourself. And if you stripping, you might as well be a featured performer. And maybe we can get you booked in the town over here. They paying you this. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause these girls really making that cash, man. And I ain't mad at them for it, because anybody that's mad at these gals for using what they got to get what they need, they a fucking fool, because they've been doing that shit since the beginning of time, man. Pussy gonna sell. And one thing a motherfucker gotta know, especially these young guys, you ain't gonna never, that pussy ain't never yours. Even if you married, it ain't yours. It is not yours.
You just put it on layaway. You renting it. Like,
you renting. Lease when she your fiance, it's lease with an option to buy. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
When you get married, you can buy it, but sometimes you might want to sell that motherfucker. You might not want it no more. And then
what if
it might break on you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it might break down.
It might be defaulted. And if you ain't got a lifetime warranty, your marriage should be a lifetime warranty, meaning when you go through some bullshit, it can be fixed and repaired and you keep on going. But if you can't get a lifetime warranty with that pussy, it is not yours. You
stuck with it.
You better hope you got a rebate. You can get something back. You hoping when you don't have it no more, you can get something back on the back end of it. But if you can't, you got to use it for what it's worth. That's it. And these girls got to know the same shit. You think these dudes only slanging this dick to you? They might be. Because a lot of these niggas be flogging like they really fucking something, but they don't be fucking nothing but that piece of rabbit fur they got under their bed or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you gotta watch out for all these little closet freaks, coming out.
But a lot of these dudes, they be on some straight gay shit. They don't be fucking nothing. They be straight looking for other dudes, or they not getting shit. And these girls out here going out of their way to appease these dudes, because when they was adolescents, see, we ain't really dive into the girls because we guys, but these girls coming up when they young, you know what I'm saying? Like the role models that they were shown to where they at now sometimes. So if they giving up on their kids, what your kids gonna do? They aspire to strip. These girls making these twerk. I'm not saying twerk videos ain't the shit. I love looking at them, man. Them asses be popping. But what I'm saying is, you know, is this what you promoting to your child? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you decipher that? I think Rich said it in the chat earlier, like the kids be given too much information. Like we raising our kids too quick. Are we in a rush to get them to where they at? You know what I'm saying?
You know it's the problem, right? See, it all starts with the TV. See, when we was coming up, there was the Cosby Show, there was A Different World, there was different strokes, you know. TV shows were surrounded about families. When they started making TV shows about the black families, about the struggles, and when they came out with the Cosby Show, it's showing you about a mother and father who has 5 kids. The mother is a lawyer, the father is a doctor, and it showed you this is what you don't see, and that's something that we saw. Like, damn, I could be a lawyer, I could be a doctor too. Different World was just showing you about the college life. Good Time show you about the struggle, you know.
Right.
You know, Different Strokes show you about 2 black boys that got adopted by a white dude. You know, they showed you shows back then. It was you learned something from it. TV shows now is you learn about a bunch of single women call themselves basketball wives. None of the bitches married, but like 2 of them. You got Love and Hip Hop. These bitches fighting over every fucking thing.
Back in the day, like half the shows that used to come on TV back then, they could show the reruns of them because they classics now. But they can't make new content based off how they made them. Like Archie bumping them All in the Family. You know what I'm saying? Like you got George Jefferson on there calling people hunkies and shit. If I hop on TV and just start calling motherfuckers crackers and hunkies, that shit ain't gonna fly with these motherfuckers.
Hell no, that shit's gonna stop.
It's all the agenda they pushing to you. And I'm glad we talking adolescents, because if you look at the majority of, I say 99.9% of everything that's evil in the world right now to this day is all targeted at the youth, man. Everything that's going on out here It's targeted.
The youth is
How we gonna
struggling.
Exactly. How we gonna bring the new age of motherfuckers into what we doing right now, man? These kids getting raped at an all-time high. They committing crimes at an all-time high. They
Being killed at an all-time high.
They on hardcore drugs more at an all-time high right now, and still dealing with the regular shit that they gonna go through anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is directed to destroy your kids, man. And while we talking this, I'm wondering, was that the same agenda when we was kids? Maybe we got to talk to somebody that was a little older than us to see, is that what they was basically? Is the 40-year-old when I was a kid thinking the same thing that I'm thinking now dealing with my kids? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think our folks was looking at us like, shit, they good. They don't need that shit. I know they want it, you know what I'm saying? But they don't need it. They all right. They be all right. Or if you want it, this is how you can get it. You got to work hard to get it. If you want to buy that, you got to, you know, I remember my mama saying that shit. Like, if you want these and that, I couldn't wait to get a job. I couldn't wait till I was old enough to get a job. And I don't see that now with kids. And I work with kids. So I see these motherfuckers making more money than we would have made at their age. And they calling out every fucking Wednesday on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck you missing this easy money, man? Because they know mama gonna give it to them. Daddy gonna give it to them. Or they're not thinking about the repercussions of you know, and the consequences of what they doing.
All right. Well, that's about it, everybody. We got to wrap it up. Last song coming up. Mac, you know, hit everybody with your social media and your PayPal.
Man, they can hit me at MacJ78 at yahoo.com for the PayPal, man. MacJ78 on Instagram. I don't really be on the Facebook, but if you go on Facebook, check out the Murder Master Music Show, UGS for Life with everything. We just dropped the project. I'm gonna holler at Rich. In a minute, we're gonna try to do an interview and set everything up. It's called Fuck the Lamestream. So if anybody listening right now, they want to know about the album, man. It's not a diss record. It's anti-mainstream, meaning you can have a conglomerate of motherfuckers that come together and put out an album and don't have to trend chase to just put out so it's an actual album. We appreciate if anybody buys this on iTunes right now, and just fuck with us, man, and make sure y'all everything Ruckus Radio, man. You already know, D.
All right.
Everything.
All right. It's D Holla. My IG is Team Lightskin. Hit me up. And, you know, next week, we're going to be back to talk that shit. Let's Talk That Shit comes back next week.
You bitches. We out of here, man.
All right. Salute, huh?
Huh?